So, hi everybody, it's Stacey Sherry Simpson of Pageantry Now, and we are live at Belleza Latina. And I have one of the title holders with me. I'm going to let her introduce herself. And she can't wear her sash, so I'm going to let her just tell us her name, her title, and her age, and then we'll go from there.
Hi, I'm Gianna Castillo, Miss Mexico Belleza Latina 2016, and I'm 41 years old.
You go, girl. I like it. Okay, so and tell us your official title.
Well, I'm a United States Army retired. I was a staff sergeant in the military, and I was retired in 2009.
And so are you doing reserve duty at all, or are you just hanging out, being...
No, ma'am, I'm actually a 100% disabled veteran. I live life with a brain tumor that's non-curable. So my military service was cut short due to that. So I served almost 14 years in the military, and here I am now.
And so you have an inoperable tumor, and does that affect your motor, gross motor, fine motor, or just every day everything's good? Tell me about it.
Well, it affects everything. I have some days where I wake up and I almost feel like if I went crazy the night before or something, I get off balance a lot, which is, a little bit of a concern in this environment, but I work through it. And just pain and get tired and things like that. But I've been dealing with it since 2009. So I'm here, and I'm going to push through it.
And was it hereditary, or was it something that maybe you were exposed to while you were in the service, or we don't know?
Well, halfway through my tour in Iraq, OIF-1, halfway through I started getting severe headaches. I started passing out a lot and getting sick of my stomach a whole lot. So it continued for about a year before I was diagnosed. And it could be from that. They really don't know what caused my tumor.
Well, I'm glad you're here. You're rocking it, so you're having a good time.
Thank you.
What's your platform? Tell me all about it.
I work for the disabled veterans. I do. I'm also diagnosed with PTSD, depression, and anxiety. So I'm currently a president for a nonprofit in Texas that works with PTSD veterans and even soldiers, active duty. So it's all about educating everyone, because PTSD, depression, and anxiety on a soldier, it affects the whole family.
Yes, that's having been a wife that was having a husband who had PTSD when he came home. I totally understand how it changes the total persona. Everything changes. And there's no way. And unfortunately, there isn't enough support. It's really sad when we're sending people overseas to protect our country and to protect our rights, but we're not protecting theirs. So I feel very strongly for you, and I really appreciate your service, and I appreciate what you're doing and making a difference, because we don't get to see that there are so many wonderfully articulate women that are out there serving our country, and we don't understand always what they're doing and how they're changing lives. So I really appreciate that, and I appreciate that you're continuing, even though you've got
till my last breath. That's what I said. I've had over 20 surgeries, actually 20 on the dot this past May, and what I always say is I'm here for a reason. I can't be a soldier, but I can still serve my community and serve the military by helping with veterans and active soldiers, and I'm here to leave my mark. That's why I'm still alive.
Oh my gosh, I feel like, oh my gosh. I'm a 3-time cancer survivor, so they gave me...
Well, God bless you.
Yeah, no, but they gave me 8 weeks to live 20 years ago, and so I do this because I want to be able to continue going forward.
God always has a plan for you, and that's something that I speak about everywhere I go. God always has a plan for you.
You're amazing. I love you. Oh my gosh, continued success. I mean, and I know that whether you win a crown tonight or not, it doesn't matter. You're going to continue to be able to do your best.
I will continue. I think for me, this is a family. Belleza Latina is a family. I was here last year and I was a runner-up, and I came back because it's definitely a family. In the last 2 years, I've grown. Even being a woman in the military, not to a civilian. It has helped me grow so much as a woman in general, because in the military we tend to suppress that a little bit,
Right, yeah, you have to.
So we come out and it's like, okay, so makeup what? So I've learned so much about makeup.
Makeup and eyelashes. And it's really sad that I get that. I'm not wearing mine, but I get it. It's like you go from, your hair pulled back very staunchly, a specific look, no makeup, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, you want me to do eyebrows?
I'm like, how do you do that?
How do you
and
do
the girls
that?
are like, you have to do this, and I'm always like simple jewelry, and you have to come out with these big earrings, big necklaces. I love it. I mean, they look great, but I'm like, I'm not used to that.
Be
But,
you. Be you.
I'm
And
very,
you know, it's
yeah.
important to be you. At the end of
Yes.
the day, it's other people's opinions, but if you're not comfortable with it, you're going to know it.
Oh, that's one very important thing. You know, I always say I will not change who I am for anyone else. I'm very secure of who I am. You know, I learned to love myself and who I was at my lowest. You know, when I couldn't walk, when I didn't have no hair, when I couldn't talk, all of that. When I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror. Exactly. You know what it's like, you know. And now I do that, like photography, like taking pictures and modeling is one thing new to me in the last couple of years. But I did it because a friend of mine that was a photographer approached me and he said, let's do a photo shoot. I think you will feel so amazing about yourself afterwards, you know? And I was like, okay, let's give it a try. And it was amazing what it did for me and how I saw myself in a different light, you know, and it empowered me and it gave me strength. So now I've started a project called Through the Lens, A Veteran's Vision, where I take a veteran, female veteran, and I talk to them about what their vision is based on their struggles. And we project that in a photo shoot. So,
Awesome. Oh my gosh. I love you.
yes.
Oh, be friends with me. Come on the show. Come and hang out with us. We do a show every
Definitely.
night. You can do it in your pajamas from your bedroom on your phone. But we do, it's kind of like Skype meets Messenger. So I can Skype you into the call,
that's
and then all of my viewers can
awesome.
ask you questions and get to know you better.
Yes.
And I always say, you know, you don't have to be pageant ready. Just come and be you, because at the end of the day, who's inside is the most important thing.
what
Your beauty
matters.
comes
It's
from
what
inside.
matters. And that's when I visit the youth in the schools and stuff, I always talk about that because they're like, oh, you're so pretty, but honey, it's in here.
Yeah.
You know, this is what really counts. And it will project out. You know,
Absolutely.
so when you're in your pajamas or when I go to the grocery store, my hair's just pulled back and no makeup and everything.
Oh, Myers. I forget about Myers. Oh my gosh. We don't have Myers here. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's when like people really get to see you for who you are,
Right.
you know. And if you are just so focused on the makeup and the outer, then you're gonna lose what's in here, and you can't compromise that.
Well,
That's
and
important.
we spend so much time having other people's ideals projected onto us, and we internalize that. And so I always try to tell the women that come on the show, be you, be confidently you, because your beauty comes from who you are. Don't let somebody else tell you who you are, because at the end of the day, you're gonna go 20 years down the line and not know who that person has become.
And that's so important. Time is something that we can't get back.
No, we can't. We
You
can't.
know, and I always refer
Today.
to it with my kids. I always say time is like money. Once you spend it, it's spent.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
So spend your time very wisely, you know? So don't compromise who you are and give yourself to certain things or settle, because you can't get that time back when you did that. You know, and it's like you said, 20 years later, you'll be like, oh, I wish I would have done this.
And you know, I mean, if I had let my diagnosis 20 years ago kill me, which I could have taken that at 10.
Exactly.
I wouldn't be here doing. I mean, the things that I've done in the last 20 years would never have come to my imagination ever. So I know that, you know, today's today. Today's the gift. You open it up. Sometimes it's Cracker Jacks.
But you roll with
Sometimes
it.
it's the best Christmas day ever. You never know, but you roll with it and you enjoy it. So
When I was diagnosed, it took me completely by surprise. You know, I'm going in there, I'm like, well, maybe it's my migraines that have gotten out of control or whatever, you know. And all of a sudden, 4 doctors walk into the office, and I'm like, oh, this is not good. And you do go through every single emotion possible at first.
I'm gonna cry.
You're right?
Yeah, no, I know.
But then
I
you
know.
have to regroup and you have to make a choice. And life is about choices,
choices.
and hard ones.
Yes.
And I chose to say, you know what? I'm not going to let this handicap me. I'm going to let this empower me. You know? You're going to make me
I'm gonna
cry.
cry. Oh my gosh. Like
Yes.
but I know I can relate. And I think that's part of the reason it was weird when I guess it took me about 5 years after I'd survived to realize, okay, maybe we need to get on and do something magical. And 9/11 happened. I was diagnosed September 11th, 1996. So September 11th, 2001 really rocked me in more ways than a lot of people, I think. And that was my moment where I went, you know what? I got to do something. And it's got to be really fantastic, because I don't know what it is, and I had a dream I won a pageant, and then I did, and I've been doing
And
this
I'm so
now.
proud of
I'm
you.
so proud of you too. I'm
That's
so glad I had to meet.
amazing.
I've met so many amazing people, and it's been such an amazing opportunity. And
But you're
now it's very
amazing too,
cariñosa.
so-
Oh my gosh, I want to keep her. Can we keep her? Come on, guys, let's
Please,
keep her.
keep me.
Come back and play with me anytime you
Right.
want. Seriously.
Definitely.
Oh my gosh, thank
Yes.
you for sharing.
Thank you so much. Thank
oh
you
my
so much.
gosh, I love you.
I love you too.
Bye-bye.